Hey, what's happening, guys? It has been a crazy summer in the North Idaho real estate market.
I mean, we put an offer in on a house the other day at $325 and there was 11 offers on it.
We have been on the front lines working with buyers, relocating every week here to North Idaho. We do a little team meeting, or we try to every week here at the Living CDA Property Group, talk about the market, what's happening, different stories with different buyers. So we wanted to give you a little insight into our weekly meeting, although recently we haven't been able to have it weekly because we've just been running around showing people houses so often the last couple of weeks. But we're going to give you a little insight today, so if you're interested in what's going on in the North Idaho real estate market this summer, stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Conor Hammons with the Living CDA Property Group.
Ben Greenslit.
Cody Byerly.
Lexi Witherwex. Kelsey Ream.
And we help people relocate, move to North Idaho all year long. Every day, every week, we're working with people buying homes here, and we love it. So if you like to watch videos that we're doing all about the area, work, live, play, all those things, make sure you subscribe here and tap that bell so you're notified every time we do a new video, because we got you back when you're moving to North Idaho. So today we wanted to roundtable a little bit. We do a weekly team meeting, and I thought it'd be nice to give a little insight into what we talk about when we get together. We don't get together as much as we like to because we've just been running around helping people buy homes. But one of the things we're running into lately is an inventory crisis. So when you're moving to North Idaho, it's been really hard finding people homes, but we've specialized in helping you be proactive in finding those homes and being prepared when you're ready to make an offer. So I wanted to dig into that a little bit. Why don't we kick it off with Lexi in terms of a couple things you can do to really prepare yourself and be set up for success once you get to the point where you want to purchase a home in North Idaho. Lexi?
So one thing I would say is there is a difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. And in this market where you're up against multiple offers almost all the time, having that full pre-approval from a local lender is huge. And being able to provide that local lender's phone number to the listing agent if they want to reach out and see how strong that buyer is sometimes makes the difference. So I would just encourage anybody that's serious to go the extra mile, turn in your documents, get all that stuff done. You're going to have to do it anyway, so you might as well get it on the front end so you're not scrambling later to dig up your 2018 tax returns or whatever. They get put in a box when you're moving. Let me think. Another thing I think that's really critical is if you are ready to move, that house that you need to sell has got to be listed. It has to be at least listed, hopefully under contract, and be prepared that if you make an offer up here, the agent may want a bump clause, which means that if they get an offer that's not contingent on your home sale, they could bump you. So the further along you are in that process, the better, the less likely you are to encounter that.
Yeah, and Ben, I know a lot of people that we work with when they're coming from any other state, a lot of times they do have a relationship probably with a lender that they have from that state, but can you talk a little bit about why it's good to have a person local here that kind of knows the market and knows what you can do and what you need?
Monday.
I thought I was doing home sale contingency, Lexi, and you just swiped that last second.
I didn't know I was doing that until you said that.
Team bloopers at the end. Yeah, and Cody, why don't you talk a little bit about, if you can, what the difference is in having a local lender versus someone, because I know a lot of people are relocating, they may have a relationship like in California, Arizona, somewhere with a lender that they know down there, or a big box lender. The Quicken Loans has been very popular. What's the difference, and how does it help you compete when you work with a local lender up here?
So working with a local lender to me is really important for a couple reasons. One of the really important reasons is because listing agents are used to working with those lenders as well. So they're comfortable with the people in this area, and they're more likely to maybe push their clients in a direction that's using somebody they're comfortable with and have the knowledge. Also, local lenders are available to you most of the time, evenings and weekends, where your national like Quicken Loans, those type of big box lenders, those people at 5 o'clock end of the day, they go home. You're not going to hear from them. So your local lenders are going to support you in that way. Also, we have great relationships with our local lenders. So, they work with us as, not just on a professional level, but kind of on a friend level. So they're willing to, stick themselves out there for us to try to make things happen for our clients. So it's really beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, you can text them at 8-9 p.m. and they'll get right back to you. And I think that's a huge deal. Not to mention, I mean, there's been a couple times recently, clients of mine that they've went with a big box lender. I would prefer not to, but it just becomes a nightmare when you get down to the wire to closing, because it's not the lender talking to the underwriter in the same office. It's the processor talking to the originator, talking to the closer, and they're all like, one's in Detroit, one's in
Florida,
Phoenix, one's in Washington DC, right. And so time zones are different. It can become a nightmare and a big burden. And so to set yourself up for success, just reach out to us. We can get you hooked up with a good person, and we have multiple people too. So if you don't jive with one person, we can get you multiple contacts. So yeah, being prepared in the lending side is huge. Mostly because you have to be ready to go and ready to compete. And Ben, I know our inventory's been super low. Can you talk a little bit about like how crazy it is and what we're seeing?
Yeah, so we're looking here at the market spotlight just for July in the Kootenai County area. And just for example, we're talking to 5-10 people a week from out of town, and they give us their price point. And I don't know if they believe us, but this is what we're looking at. So for example, from $200,000 to $250,000, the sold to list price is over 100%, which means that the average sales price is above what it's listed for.
That's the average.
That's the average. And then you even go down to, almost $1 million, and it's at 99.5%. So you have to know that coming in, that you're going to, at minimum, have to offer a full price offer. Be prepared for a multiple offer situation. But the way that you can put yourself in the best light is to be 100% ready and prepared, as far as being fully approved, having limited home sale contingencies or contingencies in general.
Yep.
Because especially if you're looking in that 300 range, I mean, we put an offer in on a house the other day at 325, and there was 11 offers on it. So
yeah.
The only way that you're going to be competitive is if you are fully prepared from the get-go.
And on that note, one of the things that we're dealing with too is, it's really hard to come to North Idaho right now and think you're going to get a deal on something. And I say that because in the last 6 months, we've appreciated our market at about 10%. So, when we look in the future here, we could be looking at in a year, if you're not quite ready to buy now, you're looking at the housing prices, you might pay 10 to 20% more next year at this time than what we're seeing right now. So I think it's really important to know that when you're coming to this area, it's very competitive, and it's not really a time to try to steal houses from
Right.
someone. We're looking at full price, above asking type situations.
And you can look at it in a different way too, by just saying, if you do jump on something now, in 6 months, you're going to have that much equity in it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a very
So
good point.
it's, a lot of people see these prices and they're a little scared, like, oh my gosh, they've changed so much. But these aren't coming down. These numbers aren't going down right now.
Yeah. And I would say, just in terms of stories and working, I mean, we've been just hustling, working with people, putting in offers. I think last weekend I had 4 offers put in for 4 different clients. 3 of them were contingent on home sales, which is really tough in this market. But we were able to get all 3 of those under contract. But the clients I'm working with understood the market and the fact that if you do have a home sale contingency, they hustled. Their house was listed and on the market. I gave them all the information for their house down in California or wherever you're coming from. The listing agent had the listing agent for the home we're putting an offer in contact them, so they understood where they were at. And then they knew that you don't really have the leverage if you're having to sell a home, so you can't be trying to undercut price. I mean, you got to pretty much give exactly what the seller wants at that point if you really love the home and if you really want to move to North Idaho when you're competing. Obviously, if you're not competing, you have a little bit more leverage, and we can negotiate, and we're experts at doing that. But this market is a big seller's market, so you just got to know that's what you're in for when you're coming up here.
And I want to add too, like, don't get discouraged by the market either. I mean, and like Conor said, it's beautiful up here. Obviously, people want to move here for a reason, but we're closing deals. So you know, to say that it's competitive, that's true, but we're still closing deals. So we're gonna find you a property.
Yeah, and we're all from the area. We have big connections in the area, so we oftentimes will hear of things coming up before it actually hits the market. So we really try and focus on keep our ear to the ground for pocket listings and all of that type of stuff to give you guys an advantage. Kelsey, she's your main point of contact whenever you reach out. If you've watched the videos before, or if you call, text, or email us, she's our rock star assistant, and she'll get you in contact with one of us. Cody didn't make the last video because he was hustling, showing houses, but that's okay. We'll take that. Priorities, right, buddy?
Yeah, so go ahead and reach out to us days, nights, weekends. Send us a call, text, or email, and we'll get to work for you.
Yeah, we got your back. You moving to North Idaho, and you know, whether you're looking for property, something on the lake, something downtown, we got your back. Just call us because we know where to put you. All right, that's it. That's a wrap.